Hello, GenRight Nation. I'm Tony Pellegrino, and this is Tech Talk. Tech Talk is something that we do live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Today, I've got our very own Jeff Perkins joining me, and we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, mainly KOH, or King of the Hammers.
Mainly King of the Hammers.
So
seems relevant.
Seems relevant, yeah. And there's a lot that you may not know about King of the Hammers, so we're going to cover some of that. This is January 29th. We're almost at the end of January. And Jeff leaves tomorrow for KOH. I leave on Sunday. And then we're there the rest of the time. So if you're watching this program live, thank you. We really like interacting with everybody. That makes it more fun. And I guess Peter's going to join us.
He's going to try
somewhere during the program.
And he's
right?
watching.
He's watching.
Okay,
I think he's learning what LA traffic is. He's in the back of Newer right now. So.
Well, it happens. It happens.
It does.
If you guys and gals have a question, all you need to do is type it in as a comment, and then Jennings can read them off to us so we can answer your questions. Please keep the questions Jeep or KOH related. I'd sure appreciate that, and we will try and get to all of them. And then, I was going to ask you guys to like or subscribe, depending on what platform you are watching this on, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future ones. And if you missed a previous Tech Talk, you can always go back to our YouTube channel and click on the Tech Talk tab and rewatch it. Yep. This is the 5th year we're doing Tech Talk, so there's
5th year already?
Yeah.
Peter says he'll be here in 45 minutes.
45.
Right on time.
We'll get him the last 15
Okay.
minutes of Tech Talk. That'll be Peter time.
Good. All right, Jennings, who else we got watching?
Alan Alvarez says hi, guys.
Nice.
When's he coming?
Yeah,
when are you
Where
coming?
is he?
Troy Merritt says hello, Tony, Jennings, Jeff, and all of Team GenRight from Nebraska.
Nice.
Troy?
Wayne Denson is watching. Ginger says hi, guys. Bobby Cleveland says hello from Yukon, Oklahoma. They were moved by my post today. Thank you, Bobby and Amy. Byron Roberts says good evening, Tony and Jeff from Kentucky.
Nice.
Esther Parrott Newcomb says good luck, Peter Doolin and Jeff Perkins at KOH.
Thank you.
Michael Murray is watching. VB Tom says, I thought you'd be on the lake bed by now.
Soon. Well, it's a soupy mess right now, so we're...
Yeah, we've had some unusual weather.
I think we timed it right.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little more dried out tomorrow,
Yeah, California, right, it's too dry. We pray for rain. Now it's too wet.
Ideally,
win.
Ideally, we'd have a light mist the evening before race day, and that's it. But
keep that
a
dust
little
down.
more than we bargained for.
Yeah.
VB Tom, Michael Rue is watching. Steve Bird.
Steve.
Brian and Gina Rayburn is watching. Bobber Street says hello, GenRight Nation from Chattanooga this evening. Glad to have gotten the shipping email about my parts today.
Good.
Awesome.
Shane's watching.
Hey, Shane.
Deborah Carnell says hello from Chandler.
Hey, Deborah.
Mike Stewart says hey from Arkansas. Mark Lawrence says hello, GenRight team. VB Tom says hello from sunny Virginia Beach. Chris Silvera is watching. Jeep Pope is watching. Patrick Vaughn is watching. And then we've got Kathy McCavis and Sean Rameka. Heath Basham says hello from Texas. David Mork says hello. Nick Repinich says hello from the middle of everything.
Yeah. Nick's out there.
Nick's,
he's been there a couple days already.
Nick's been sending us some videos of people trying that qualifying.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he sent me a picture of backdoor, and it's just like a swimming pool.
It's a puddle.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a puddle. I don't know if that'll get dried out.
Steve Egbert says going out to KOH on Saturday. Greg Brown says hello from Kentucky.
Nice.
Craig Huffman says Peter and Jeff for the win.
Hope so.
Jeep Thrills Off-Road is watching.
Jeep
Daniel
Thrills, that's Albert. He's
Cadby.
racing stock class.
Cool.
We're going to be talking about him in a minute.
Yeah.
Robert Lavoie is watching. Cooper Off-Road is watching from Lasertown.
Oh, nice. We'll see them out there. They were out at Turkey Run with us. So.
Nice.
Jeep Adventure says hey from Rockland, California, headed to the lake bed tomorrow.
Us too.
Jeff Rorta says hello from Havasu.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Keith Crum says hello from Spencer, Indiana. And
Nice.
Wayne Kinchie says from Wisconsin says hello.
Wow.
And lots more jumping on and checking in.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So today's show, all about King of the Hammers, also known as KOH. So let's move slide. Oh, actually, I've got some products that we developed as a result of KOH.
That's like half our products.
Yeah. This is an extremely close-up of what we call the chin strap. So this, if you've got a Curry axle, this goes over the front edge of what they call the jock strap, that little skid plate, and keeps it from getting torn off, damaging those bolts. This one is merely bolted on. It does get welded into place.
Yep.
But it is a awesome invention.
Well, I proved how great it was at Turkey Run. I ripped mine up a little bit there, but had that not been there, those bolts would have been,
Gone.
I'd have been welding bolts nuts to
Yeah.
it to get those off.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, pretty cool. The next thing, the next step up from that is what we call our armadillo. This is made out of 4130 chromoly. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, we have our little armadillo.
Yeah, the original body armor. This I developed racing the 4400 class, where you're just absolutely pounding your differential through the rocks. And this gives you full protection, so you're not likely to bust open the case. So really nice upgrade. And actually, I've noticed many of our builds now coming out of motorsports have these on them. So
they should. It's
people
a great
have
product.
figured it out. Yeah.
Matt McDonough has a question.
Sure.
He says, what changes in the race car setup for the mud or snow? Shocks, tire choice, and tire pressure?
Nope, just tearaways on the race mask, and I don't know, just having more towels in there. But there's really not much you can change.
No.
You just gotta race with the
I
condition it is.
always prayed for bad weather on race day because I knew it would psych the other drivers out, and I was
Right.
just going to stretch on a big black trash bag and take off.
I'm not praying for bad weather. I'm praying for light wind and a slightly damp conditions. Keep the dust down, but
You might get your wish.
I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any Jerome Balky said any ideas or solutions on where you guys will be mounting flags to your rigs for KOH?
On a big pole.
I actually use my tire carrier mount. It's on the back, and
I just zip tie it to the C pillar of my cage.
yeah.
VB Tom wants to know, can an LJ on 37s make it up backdoor? Let's try it.
Well,
It's got a pretty gnarly breakover. You
there's a
should,
lot of variables.
okay, go on. Where's my Terremoto one? Is that on the GenRight channel?
It's everywhere.
Yeah. So go watch Terremoto go up it and see if you have what it takes. This back door is a make or break obstacle.
Yeah.
And what I mean by break is you may go over backwards, or tear the rear end out. People, they just trash everything. If you ever come during King of the Hammers, every night you will see rig after rig just drug away or rolled over or whatever.
Yep. And half the time it's Alan.
Alan says, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Awesome.
Nice.
But to make it up half door, I mean, it's going to take all your commitment.
Yeah.
So it's not one you can just work up to.
No.
You pull up, get a slight feel without spinning the rocks out back halfway down.
Yep.
And just
Go.
everything it's got.
Yeah.
So 37s might be able to. Dana 44s probably not.
Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to mention while we're on tires is all three guys, Peter, Blake, and Albert, are running the X version of this tire, which is a 4-ply, like heavy-duty one that the public can buy.
Yeah, they're tough as nails.
Tough, yeah. So that's a cool thing. So I wanted to let everybody know about the tire technology. It is something you can buy yourself if you're looking for a more heavy-duty tire.
Yeah, and our classes, everything besides unlimited class, 4400, EMC, we all race off the shelf DOT approved
Yeah.
tires. So
Yeah.
we're racing the same thing you buy for your trail rig.
That's right.
And Jeff, what tires were you running on your Jeep for the Real Hammers experience? That was impressive that you didn't lose one.
These
Same
I
ones.
was running that, but in a sticky version.
in a sticky,
Ah.
which is what Jordan was running, and that's Jordan helped Mickey Thompson over the last few years prove this tire out.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of that
Yeah.
confidence we have in the tire
Yeah.
came from.
And keep in mind, like when I did the Hammers experience, I was running at 20 psi. We're running
wow.
the race car at about 25,
It's
28,
high.
27 psi on Peter's car. So you lose traction, but you just have to go through everything, not thinking you're going to crawl everything.
Right. And these on the bigger tires for the unlimited class, it's a sticky version. So the sticky makes up for the high tire pressure.
Yeah, it makes about halfway up.
Yeah,
You still got to
yeah, you
roll
still-
through it. But
yeah.
in the desert, it really drastically reduces your chance of getting a puncture in the desert and in the rock trail.
Yep. Okay.
Update on the car? The race car?
On
Which one? Peter's?
No.
Jordan's?
Yeah.
well, so for
We haven't
those
gotten there yet.
yeah. but for those of you that don't know, Jordan sold his car. He will not be racing. No Pellegrinos are racing this year. And the buyer of the car is letting Cameron Steele race the car. He's a Monster sponsored driver. The car has been wrapped in a Monster logo. And the car and both Jordan and I will be out there to make sure that it goes smoothly. So, yeah.
Just making us full energy drink circle.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that's the latest on that.
Are the Mickey Thompson stickies not DOT?
They are not DOT.
No, it's a race tire.
No stickies are DOT.
You wouldn't want them as a daily driver.
No.
You're not going to get a lot of miles.
They'll go away so fast.
That'll be just like
Jeep
pouring money
Thrills
down the
Off-Road says DOT approved a must to run the EMC.
A must.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. That was one of the rules.
Yep.
Okay. King of the Hammers, you guys have probably seen the pictures. This is a great shot of the infield race course. The start finish is right here, and you could see a lot of people gathered right here. I don't know if are you zoomed in? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is where one of the big screens is, and that fire pit that everybody's seen is right there. That is the middle of Hammertown, right? That's
Yep.
if you're going to be in Hammertown, that's where you want to be. Great coverage. That's where the announcers are. Everything's happening right there. What you can't see off screen is way over this way is Chocolate Thunder. Way over that way is Backdoor.
Yeah.
And actually straight out, kind of where the dust is out toward
Turkey
Claw.
Claw, Heartbreak.
yeah. Which are they running that this year?
No, not
No.
Turkey
Okay.
Claw.
So then it's all over here.
I think they got enough flack for the traffic jam 3 minutes
Probably.
into the race.
Yeah.
But this looks like an older picture. Like I saw one last year where even all the way out here looked as condensed as
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
It's picked up momentum over the years like crazy.
Normally we camp out here. It's during this time it's really busy and people are there to behave like total party animals.
Yes.
So I'm gonna camp over here at Lasertown. I know some of you guys are at the 40. Most of you guys are in
Most of us are in
pits,
Havertown.
which is
Some
like
are-
our pits right here.
Some people are at the 40. That's a new spot, so I'm curious to see how that
How
works
that
out.
is, yeah.
But it is nice to camp out there and be able to drive into Hammertown. That's
Yeah.
find a little bit of quietness out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick's camping over in Hammertown Heights.
Oh, Nick finally got to Hammertown Heights. He's
Yeah.
been talking about it for about 5 years.
He said it was
so good.
pretty soft on his way up there.
Oh, I bet.
He was a little nervous. So, okay. So the point of this is what to expect. All right. So if you've never been to KOH, there's several things you need to know. And as I go through this, you guys can ask additional questions. So first off, if you plan on going in person, you need to buy tickets. I would recommend buying them ahead of time online, but you can get them right there. There is a main check-in at the entrance where you park your car, you get out, you go in this little building, and you sign all the waivers and everything. Or you have the option to watch it live from home. And the coverage is pretty good.
Coverage is great. It's getting better every year.
Yeah.
Over the last year, they started where they can cut to in-car footage of cars, and now this year we have that. Ton more racers have that, so the coverage is getting better.
So let's actually talk about that for a second. So Jeff and Peter have a Starlink on their car that they will be broadcasting live. Now, you'll be able to see that if you get the extra package, right, from KOH?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's like $25. It's not much.
Yeah, but we'll also be posting a link to where you can watch just our car.
On YouTube?
On
Hibernian?
just a website that it hosts.
Okay.
So
good.
we're going to try to host it on Hibernian Racing Off-Road YouTube page, so subscribe to that. We'll be going live at least once a day from the lake bed, and we're going to try to maybe stream the whole race from there, but we don't know exactly how reliable that is opposed to the website that the box we have sets you up with.
So Peter and Jeff will be going live. Jeff and I will be going live. There's a ton of stuff to cover out there.
You guys are going to get sick of me.
I'll be doing next Wednesday's Tech Talk from there.
Yep.
So, this is, again, if you don't know about King of the Hammers, this is our Super Bowl. This is the biggest thing in off-road racing, period, of the entire year. And even all of the Baja 1000 guys are here to race the desert race
this weekend.
That's right.
Which is why we can't pre-run the right way. We have to pre-run the desert lap in reverse.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see, I think the lives with me and you will be interesting because this is kind of the first year where you a little bit take a step back.
Yeah.
Because Jordan's not racing. We don't have, GenRight itself doesn't have a race car in the race. So I'm curious to see your take on it, see what you see out there.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little different perspective for the live from you.
Yeah, and I'll actually have a chance to float around and talk to people that I normally don't have 2 seconds to talk to.
For those that don't know, that if you're racing and like Hammers Week flies by, you wake up, team meetings early.
Well, and you're trying to stay fed, you're trying not to get sick, you're trying to get enough sleep. I mean, beside the fact, pre-run, keep an eye on the car. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. Like, this is your chance to make it, right? And one little thing can take you out of the race.
Yeah,
so
it's always one little
it's one thing.
I know. Like an $8 bar.
Right. So Jeff knows this well. The first year that he raced with Peter, they got third place, just phenomenal. And I mean, there's.
Well, last year I ended up racing with COVID, so that was just all not fun.
Oh, could I not get that from you this year?
Hopefully,
It's brutal.
Hopefully nobody gets it this year.
Yeah.
VB Tom asks, is it better to park your camper close as possible or further away if you want to sleep?
Further away.
Yeah. And Troy asks, is Hammertown like staying at the Buffalo Chip?
It is.
Yes.
Just
like that.
It is craziness. There are guys on quads and side-by-sides that just go all night long. And they run their shit right next to your camp. It's like, dude, go in the desert. Get out of here.
Yeah, you want to park somewhere off it because there's a lot of people that only come during this time. So desert etiquette is out the window for half the people.
This is like going boating on the holiday weekend.
Yeah. So, but I will say officers do a better job patrolling Boone Road on the way to Hammers. Like I'm doing nothing and I see people get stopped every year. I get stopped like once every other year.
Yeah.
So they do a good job trying. But once you pass Hammertown, you're like 2 Chocolate Thunder back. That's keep your head up.
The Wild West.
Don't try to be a desert racer.
And don't assume anybody sees you. So that was part of what I wanted to start talking about was, if you plan to go to, backdoor, especially Chocolate Thunder, you better have a 4-wheel drive. You're going to get stuck.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's sandy to get out there. Now it's deceiving because you're on the lake bed, which is pretty hard packed, and then it's transitioned to sand. And if you slow down at all, you're done.
And right now on the lake bed,
it's wet.
And I bet through the end of Hammers, you're gonna be driving. You're gonna end up to your axles in mud.
Yeah, I avoid the lake bed like the plague because you will be full of mud.
Even in broad daylight, I think a few years ago, we were there for like 15 minutes. I went out for a rip and I came back covered in mud head to toe.
Yeah.
I got through it.
It looks dry.
It looks dry.
And then it breaks through.
It still has like the crack on top, but you.
Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to mention was, why are you there? Right? Are you there to see qualifying? Are you there to just watch the UTVs or the EMCs or the Unlimiteds? Okay, because those are all on different days. So you may not realize that, but this is like a 2-week long thing. And you were going to talk a little bit about the schedule.
Let me ask you a question real
Sure.
quick. If you were going to come for one day, would you rather come for qualifying or the race?
Qualifying.
I think you see way more.
Way more. You can see everything right there.
Yeah.
You got the big screen. The qualifying is about a 4.5 minute lap.
That's what they're saying.
And guys absolutely drive over their head. They have lost their minds. They're considering 2 days later they got to race a 200-mile race.
The same rig.
Yeah, the same rig.
But
So-
it does make good for action.
It does.
Yeah, it's great
Very
watching.
nice.
So-
Jeep Thrills Off-Road says, this year we will live stream for the full race from my race Jeep with Starstream.
There
I
you
will post
go.
up a link on my Instagram account.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
All right, then you guys are going to need 3 tabs open: the main feed, our feed, and Albert's feed.
Albert's.
Jerome asked Tony, are you taking Terremoto or Aftershock?
I am taking Aftershock, and I'm camping over at Lasertown. So, yeah. And then the next thing I wanted to cover was, you can get food out there, but I wouldn't count on that. Bring some food. Be prepared for any kind of weather. It is cold, cold, cold in the morning. Like it will be freezing or below.
You will have all your clothes on in the morning and
Yeah.
maybe a t-shirt around like 2.
Yeah.
And then you'll
And
start to re-layer it into all your
Yeah,
clothes again.
yeah. But the moment that sun goes behind the mountain, it's
Oh,
freezing
yeah.
again.
TJ Smirsky has an off-topic question.
Sure.
Is that good? Okay, 2012 JKU Elite GenRight system, Curry 70s, and decided to remove 3.6 and put a Hemi in it. Can you give guidance on where to start for new coilover spring rates with me running the 2.5 Kings? I'm assuming adding that much weight would require an update.
Yeah, the engine's about 150 pounds. Could even, depending on what equipment you've got there, could even be 200 pounds heavier. So you're probably going to have to go up 50 pounds on each of the 2 springs would be my guess.
You would, but I would do the engine, then see how it sits. And then
yeah.
see how much preload you have to put in to get the same ride height. And then you can do that math of how many 50-pound increments you need
because
to go.
each 50 pounds is worth an inch at ride height. So all you have to do is tell the guys, and then they know what the springs
If
is.
you're starting a Hemi swap, that should be so far in the back of your mind.
But good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
And Robert Lavoie asked, are you going to have a vendor booth at Hammertown?
We are not. I know that Jeff and Peter have team shirts that they'll be selling out of the pit tent, right?
Yes.
Which is in the same spot we've always been in.
Always been in. If the front door is open, you can come in, ask for Peter and I. If it's closed, maybe wait until we open it.
Yeah, but they brought a bunch of extra shirts.
Yeah.
So definitely see them, and they'd be happy to get you outfit shirts and hats, right?
I don't know.
Okay. And so
Let's say
a lot of swag.
Okay,
Yeah.
caught up.
Okay. So next, there are specific spectator spots that if you're out there, you're going to want to go to. I mentioned, the big screen, Chocolate Thunder, Backdoor. There's others as well. Get yourself a map. You can download Cartotrax. That's shows you a lot.
Cartotrax is a good one. Onyx is a good one. That's the one King of the Hammers is really pushing this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
And they
those are-
sell maps, right? Like you can get a map and like a
Yeah, the laminate maps.
laminate
yeah.
mat.
Which
And-
are
and-
super cool when they go quick. So if
Yeah.
you're going to King of the Hammers for your first time, you should get one. They're
like right away when you
Right
get there.
away.
Yeah. And then there's big screens. There's several big screens all over the place. Those are cutting to areas of the course where you can't get to, right? So sometimes it's cool to kind of stage where you want to watch somebody come through, but then you can watch the big screen.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing.
Where are you going to watch? Well, you're going to...
I'm going to
Peter's
bring my
15 minutes
Starlink in my Jeep so I can stay on top of everything.
Oh, cool.
But I'm going to kind of, we've got...
Chase us a little, right?
Well, this is the thing, right? So we all get the benefit of watching the UTVs
I know.
before. So then you and I can talk about, okay, where do you want me? Do you want
Yeah.
eyes on the car in this area?
Yeah.
And then I can get out to somewhere. So there's a lot of time and planning that goes
Yeah.
into all this stuff.
But if you're a fan, just seeing the cards at the beginning all lined up, the
Yes,
national anthem,
in
the
Hammertown,
planes
yeah.
go by, and then seeing at least the top guys take off the line is just way
Cool,
cool. There's
yeah.
no, like I said, that's the Super Bowl
Yeah.
atmosphere
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full throttle out of the...
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then Chocolate Thunder is always fun.
Yeah. It's
So-
good because you can see for quite a bit, coming
Yeah.
and going.
And
so-
it's not, you don't have to go crazy out there.
Right.
Of course, Backdoor is always fun, but
Yeah.
we're going down it, I
Yeah.
believe. So
Yeah. So last year people were jumping down it. So
Jerome said the guest book also should show spectator locations.
okay, good.
Peter's 15 minutes out.
Okay, good.
Wow, he's making good time. That Uber driver.
Race driving.
Okay, so the other thing I was going to remind everybody, except Jeff told me VP will be selling gas there, but if they're for some reason they're out or whatever, the nearest gas is 30-minute drive each direction. Right, so you got to drive 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back, and battle the traffic in and out. So, really, either bring gas or plan your time well.
I'd come with quite a few jugs.
Yeah.
Bo Parham asked, I'd been thinking about getting a Starlink. What Starlink are you guys using for the race car and for your Jeeps?
Not a clue.
Well, a lot of people have gotten the Mini. I know that.
That's Peter's territory.
Yeah, and Jennings and I have the newest generation of which is smaller than our original one that did the whole looking for the satellite.
Your new one works really,
works great.
Really
It acquires
well.
Josh
fast.
says get the Mini.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mini wasn't out when we got that one, or I probably would have. Okay, was there more on the schedule you want to cover?
There's just stuff every day.
Yeah, talk about what the highlights are for each day.
Peter says Gen 3.
Gen 3.
Okay. So this weekend is the desert race, trophy truck. So Saturday is kind of the limited class, and Sunday is the unlimited class. So all the big dogs race on Sunday, which I've never had time to go see, but sometime I want to see them. At least take off. Like those trophy trucks are just
They're awesome.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Then what do we got? Monday is the UTVs qualifying.
Right.
So I think with the qualifying course this year, everybody of all classes would be very curious to see.
So they changed it. For those of you that don't know, it is there is no trail that exists there. They go up short bus, and then they turn right at the top and run this ridge that if you take a bounce either way, you're gone.
Yeah,
you're just
it's a little sketchy, but I'm hoping the UTV guys really burn it in. So
then what?
But that'll be fun because I think everybody will be glued to that. Then Tuesday is EMC qualifying.
Okay, good.
So
good.
48, 45, stock
46,
class 46.
Yep.
So that's a long day.
Yeah.
But a lot of action. That's the day that we qualify, so that'll be fun.
And if you're not familiar with the EMC, those are the either stock or modified Jeep classes.
Yeah, so there's three classes that race together. Stock class, which is what Jeep Thrills Albert races.
Yep.
35-inch DOT-approved tire, one shock per corner, no coilovers.
I think I have a picture of Albert. There's Peter. We'll start with Albert since you're talking about
it. Can't stretch your wheelbase more than 2 inches.
There's Albert. Yeah.
He drives like crap out
So
of
he drives an LJ,
Yeah.
and I think 1 or more years he's been the points
overall
champ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has.
Yeah, so running all GenRight stuff, and really been a great ambassador for us, and we really enjoy supporting him. So,
But you have to run a spring and a shock.
Yeah.
So these stock class guys are nuts.
Yeah.
Like taking on all the hammer trails, and really you can't do crazy amounts to the Jeep. You have to make it race legal, 1 shock per corner, coil springs.
Yeah.
But he's a heck of a driver, so they're very relatable if you're coming in driving a Jeep. The stock class is very relatable. Yeah. Then our class, which you have to have part of a factory frame.
Yeah. Which I think in one of these pictures you can see.
Yeah.
This one. There.
Oh, that's
there you
better.
Go.
Yeah,
factory frame. Yeah.
So part of a factory frame, you can have up to a 2.5 coilover bypass on each corner. You do have to retain a steering box, and then DOT 37-inch tires, which...
Yeah, and in this case, you guys are running Curry 70s.
Curry 70s, front, rear, PSC steering.
I see the armadillos on there.
Yeah, well, looks like it's found the rocks a few times. So
yeah.
But as long as you do those few things, you can get pretty creative with the 45 car.
Yeah.
Now the 48 car is a lot of old retired 44 cars.
That's
you do
right.
have to, all these classes you do have to have solid axle. But the 48 cars can be a full tube chassis. You do only get 1 shock per corner. You can't run a bypass.
That's right.
but you can go full hydro. So
and big 3-inch IBPs, right?
Yeah. Huge one shots.
Yeah.
But they're usually a little quicker, and plus there's just so many more in that class.
Yep. Okay, and then that picture is from the year they got third place.
Third, yep.
Right out of the box, did awesome.
Yep, that was a fun year.
Yeah. And this is typically what the finish line looks like, and we all gather around as they come in to congratulate them. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that was fun. That was when we got told we got unofficial third. We had no idea. We were just
out there doing your thing.
It's just you go in thinking like you're just going to run your race, so like it doesn't matter where other people are. So
that's the best way to do it.
I told Jimmy, I'm like, I don't care where we are as long as we're cruising. Jimmy's our radio guy. Yeah. As long as we're cruising, that's all we can do.
Yeah. Well, actually, why don't you talk about the number of people that it takes to coordinate the team and pit stops and stuff?
It takes an army.
Yeah.
There's so we obviously have the people that help us with the car. So there's probably about 5-6 of them. All of them have kind of different specialties. Like Jamie and Max were the motor guys. Right. Darren's all around guy. Then you have Cam helping us. He's just been around GenRight builds forever, so he's very good. Then we have Jimmy, Sandra. They run the radio trailer. Yep. So if we call into a pit, hey, we're coming in, we're 5 miles out. Well, we call every mile. So they check where we're at. They know where we're at all times. Yep. And then we can call into them if we need another tire or something feels funny when we're coming to the pit, and they'll relay it to the pit so they know what to look for when we're coming in. Yep. And then this year we do only have 2 pits, so we need 5 to 6 people per pit.
Per pit.
Looking through the car, fire extinguisher people, gas people, Big Mike.
Yep.
So it takes an army.
Yeah, it is.
Mark Donnelly says, "What's up, guys? Loving the Edelbrock table mats."
There you go.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
He says, "I'll be setting up the Edelbrock Compcam's booth tomorrow. Come say hi when you get in."
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay, so then Blake,
he is 4,400, unlimited class. He gave it a go last year, but he has quite a few upgrades since last year, including the 42-inch Baja Boss, Curry Dana 70 axles. Yeah. So he should be
looks a lot like Terremoto, but it's not Terremoto. It's very similar. It's a full race, JK, 4-door JK.
Yeah.
And Blake is just throwing in his hat to the racing ring, and he started, in the high class. So that's a whole nother challenge to itself.
Yeah, he should have fun though. He's not going out there to win. He just wants to finish. Yeah. So I think that's a good goal.
A good goal. Yeah, for sure.
So he'll qualify Wednesday. Then Thursday is the UTV race. Friday is when Peter and I race. That's EMC.
Yep.
And then Saturday is the big boys.
Yeah.
All the big names.
So yeah. Let's see what else we have. We talked a little bit about Blake and the Jeep Works and Albert. Let me see what else I had here.
He's a madman.
And then just apparel and stuff. So what else? Any other questions about the race or activities or any of that stuff?
Not right now.
There's an activity every night in Hammertown. There's some kind of concert, Sublime plays, there's a few other bands.
Yeah, does the schedule say anything?
No, not about the bands.
Not about that.
Oh, maybe I just didn't look. No, it says live entertainment.
Live entertainment. Okay.
Ginger asked what days I'm going to KOH. I'm going Sunday through Thursday.
Oh, looks like the live entertainment has been moved to Monster Stage at Chocolate Thunder.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then Saturday it's at the 40.
At the 40, okay.
So I think the 40 is going to be a pretty poppin' place. That's like right when you get through the gate to the right.
Yeah. And they've got food trucks there and stuff. There's a lot going on.
There's like a beer garden.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I got a breakfast burrito there. It was great.
Oh, did you make it over there last year? I never made it over there, but we will this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Anthony asked what's for dinner. I think we're going to go to an Italian restaurant tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
okay.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Didn't you have spaghetti for lunch?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'll have to try something else.
Bobby Cleveland asks, will any of you be at the Ultra 4 race at Crossbar this year? I've been asked to be a recovery crew person.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
You never know what kind of shape your car is going to be in after King of the Hammers.
But I know Peter wanted to, right?
We want to do a few races this year. I don't remember if that falls on the East or West Coast series.
Gotcha.
I think mainly we're trying to stay west.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
Ari says there have been some gas cans stolen off the lake bed, so bring a cable lock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you're bringing tires, gas cans, a generator, like, don't be an idiot and just leave this stuff. It will walk away.
It's not like a normal off weekend at the
No.
Hammers where you can be
You
a little
normally-
laid back
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. But you keep an eye on all your stuff.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
tool bags.
Lock your doors. Like,
anything.
just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Jordan give up racing or just for this year?
No, Jordan has started his own company. If you're not familiar with it, it's called LGRP, Little Guy Racing Products, and it's caters to the 1/24th, size little rock crawlers. And he's doing really good. But that's a full-time gig, and he's really trying to put all his energy into that. And if he has any spare time, he's trying to build a trail rig to go wheeling with us.
Yep.
So you got to remember, for the last 10 years, Jordan hasn't been able to go regular wheeling with us. So because he's always here working on the race car.
Yep.
So he's really looking forward to kind of getting back to normal and being able to go camping with us and just enjoy wheeling again.
Yeah, it'll be
So-
fun to have them out there too.
Yeah, racing. If you've never done it, I know it looks glorious, and that's cool and all. But it is a ton of work, and you make a lot of personal sacrifices.
Well, especially 4400 class.
Yeah,
Like those cars are like spaceships now.
yeah.
There's no real there's hardly any off-the-shelf parts. You have to test like crazy.
Yeah.
Even when he would come out to the desert with us, we'd be off doing our thing, and he'd be
Just running
running miles
Yeah.
and bringing it back,
Yeah.
taking changes. And a lot of times they're not small changes.
Right.
Like you're taking half the car apart just for a small change on the desert
Yeah.
to see if it feels a little better.
Right.
So it's it'll be good to have them enjoying the trail.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There's when you get to the unlimited class, you typically have a lot of sponsors. There's
Peter's
a lot of
pulling up.
responsibility with that. Is that Peter?
I hear Peter.
All right, good. Doors open, right?
Yep.
So we can move this over because he'll be sitting on that side.
What about you, Tony? Will you race again?
I would love
Yeah,
to,
Tony.
but it's
I think there's a race
you
car
have
outside.
no personal life. When you race, you have no personal life. So I don't know. It's still in my blood for sure. So that's why I like doing our Real Hammers experience with Jeff and the guys, because you
that's
still
fun.
get a taste of that without all the stress. So
I hear a Peter.
I hear something
Oh, Peter, do
with
it!
his bags and everything. Come on over, sit over here.
Good, that was quick.
That was quick.
It's only 5:39.
Well, you
we
make
go.
good time.
Good to see you.
Gentlemen,
Hi, Ron.
Hey,
What's up, Ron? We got a Peter.
All right.
bags.
Yeah.
you watching us on two phones?
I'm launching on 2 phones.
Gives us more viewers. I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's great to be
say
here.
hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
There's a stool if you want it. Or
It's great to be here. Where's still? You can still on that side?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'll go outside.
All right.
Thanks. Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Heck
Last
yeah.
5 minutes before we go have a beer, right?
That's right. That's right.
What about
well,
Tony's
you
old-
still got 20 minutes, so you're doing
Oh,
good.
yeah.
What about Tony's old 4400 car?
What about it? Who's asking?
Craig Huffman. Well, why don't you race it?
Well, yeah, I don't
Tony.
I don't have any time.
Craig says, "Hi, Peter."
Oh.
I was just talking about how you have no personal.
Oh, no, I
life
heard. I
when
was
you're
listening to
racing.
you.
Yeah.
I was listening to you.
Maybe you can speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's this whole crazy journey started because of this young man here to my left, and I was egged on and cajoled by the other young man across the table to make it happen. And it was, if you remember, go back onto the GenRight YouTube channel from 3 or 4 years ago. We did the
Real Hammers.
with the Real Hammers experience, the first Real Hammers experience, and then I also did the sort of race driving weekend with Tony, where he walks you through more of the details of how to be safe in the car and drive fast and understand the car better. And that was it. And I was hooked. So I'm now on this drug, which is absolutely the most expensive thing I've ever done in my life. But it's also one of the most rewarding I've ever done. And it is all consuming. And, you know, the first year I think some people call it a Cinderella year. You know, what we didn't know probably helped us more.
That's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
In the second year, we were, it's just, everything has to come together. Your health, your time, the car, your friends, you know, people who are helping you. Everything has to be perfect. And we got rumbled by a stupid pump that, you know, the night before, 2 days before, started acting up, the steering pump. But it wasn't the steering pump. That was it's like an airplane disaster. It was the one little thing, the ant that fell off the wing, then caused this and that. And before you know it, there was this cascade of emotions and time. We lost time. We all got tired. We're up late at night working. And Jeff is sick. I'm sick. We're all sick. And, you know, everyone tries their best. And everyone puts their whole entire heart into it. And, you know, everyone cares deeply. Like, I'm very aware of the fact that there's a lot of people who are investing a huge amount of time and energy and emotion into this, and it's super important for Jeff and myself and for everybody. And so on the calls, we've been having weekly calls with the team. We've got our own Slack group. See how I got that plug in there? We've got our own Slack group. We're constantly sharing information. Nick has been giving us all intelligence today and sending us dozens of videos and text messages as he's out there giving us a sense of what's happening. And we are burning in that trail, by the way, fast.
I saw it. Good.
There's a weight on your shoulders. I mean, you must have felt it every time that you were going out with your big team with GenRight. So yeah, there's a lot of weight on it. But you know what? We're going to go out and have a lot of fun.
Well, you're way better prepared this year.
Oh yeah, this year we learned. So to Tony's point, we learned a lot. First year we were, I was going to use the L word. First year we were in the right place at the right time.
Well, you were focused on finishing. Right. That was also a good plan.
The only thought in our minds in the first year was, don't hit that rock.
Yep.
Right? Literally, if you listen to the in-car footage, it's Jeff just shouting at me, watch that one, watch that one, watch that one. Because we didn't have the new X Series tires. We had the prior generation.
Yeah. And you're driving in the dust.
We're driving in the dust, and literally we got off the start line, and I think we got maybe, 2 miles. And literally you couldn't see the hood of the car. You couldn't see the front of the car for maybe 20 miles.
Longer than it was comfortable.
Longer than it was comfortable, and the whole time in the back of your head, you're thinking that there's a Gomez brother coming up behind you. So the first year was kind of like this. We learned a lot, but we also enjoyed it greatly. So it really brought us into the sport and brought us into experiencing it. It also reinforced with us, you have to have the right tools. You have to have the right products. You have to have the right connect. Everything has to work. You can't have a weak part at all in the car. If you have one weak part in the car, one weld that doesn't work out right, one part that's not done right, it doesn't work. It's like Tony says, it's a system. The car is a system, and you have to think of all those parts together as a system. Second year, I think we got the car prepped, and we just ran out of time.
Yeah.
It was just time. The clock counted down on us. I turned up, as usual, late. Jeff
you were fighting being sick, and
we were all. It was a whole bunch of things, and I wasn't in the right mental place because work had just changed for me. So I was literally thinking about the 500 things I had to do on the start line. Can you believe? I almost didn't drop it into first gear because I was thinking.
I saw that. I was watching that video, and I saw you put it in.
I literally, with a quarter of a second to go, if you watch the video, I dropped it into first gear. It was, and you didn't hear the radio. It was Jeff kind of going, "Are you in gear?" This year, the car is 100% different. I mean, it looks the same, but it's not. There's not a single bolt.
Right,
thing
it's
that
had a lot of attention.
Darren has been extraordinary.
Yeah.
And
he's been through 15 KOHs.
Watching him go through...
Knows the drill.
Watching Darren go through my credit card is a thing of wonder. But it shows you, again, another big learning curve. We've learned that the level of specificity and focus and attention to detail is really important. Every single bolt, every single thing he's done, he has itemized it. We have 2 of everything. We have 2 engines. We have 2 transmissions. We have 2 Atlas transfer cases.
Yeah.
We have at least 6 sets of drive lines. We've got axles. I got to ask you for a knuckle. I got all sorts of stuff that's going on. And
Well, that's important because we were just telling people before you arrived, in qualifying, people just beat the daylights out of their car. So then you get some time to fix it, and you may need those parts.
Go on to YouTube. We just posted. We're trying to get this YouTube channel over 50 users so that we can actually get the live stream to work because there's a YouTube limit. So once
Troy
we got
said,
that,
I think you did it.
did we do it? Okay.
think so.
Well, in that case, you're going to see it live. And what you'll notice is there's like 4 or 5 obstacles right in the first quarter of a mile. If you look really closely, off camera, off the edges of the side of the road, you'll see wheels, not tires, a wheel, which means the entire hub assembly has been sheared off. You'll see a car upside down over. I mean, we come around one corner and it's carnage. It's total carnage. And I think what happens is that face mask comes down and people get
invincible.
The skinny pedal gets really heavy and off they go.
Yeah. So that goes back to like when you did the driving thing with me. It's all about keeping that car alive, right? You got to know what's pushing too hard, where you can keep it at 80, 85% and go all day, right? And you're not beating yourself up. You're not beating the car up. That's a good strategy.
It's a great strategy. And there's something I learned that I didn't actually appreciate. You said it a few times, and I didn't catch it. And then I went out shock tuning and driver training with Wayne about, what was that? At the last Hammers Experience.
Yeah.
That same day you guys were doing that. And he said something really, really interesting that caught my attention, which was good race drivers in off-road racing and rock racing, they do 2 things really well. They go slow in the dangerous stuff and really fast in the safe stuff. And it's a really great message. Like you shouldn't be killing yourself in the first 100 meters over the first rocks.
No.
But when you get out into the desert and you can roll a marble along the sand, you should have your foot planted on the floor.
Yep.
And I think that's the lesson that we've learned, and we want to get out there tomorrow and start practicing that.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this, but when you take off across the desert, they'll run you through some sections that narrow down. And one year, there was a Gomez car that tried to go through the squeeze and tore the entire rear axle out because they didn't slow down. It's like, dude.
It was like, one of the things that's amazing is that in the course, when they mark the course, as you approach especially dangerous corners, they'll mark it with a different color obstacle marker. And then they have like multiple arrows that count down the number of meters or feet or yards, whatever it is, to the actual corner. And so you can kind of mentally, click down, okay, here's my braking zone coming up. And so it's a several hour race. Braking 100 feet less or more is not going to make a damn bit of difference. So brake into the corner and then power through it.
Accelerate out.
And when we get to these corners, these like hard lefts and rights, there'll always be 2 cars upside down.
Yes.
On the outside of the corner.
Yeah.
Like literally, they passed us, like they left me in the dust 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They're going 20 miles an hour faster than me, more. And then 5 minutes later, they've just destroyed their race.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the hardest things to like get in your head is, I don't know, 80% of the cars that fly by you, you see them broken down later.
Yes.
Like it's almost sure thing,
Yeah.
whether it
'Cause
be in the desert
they
or
don't
the
know
rocks.
what 85% is, right?
They know what the 85% is, and also I think this race. This race is essentially won and lost before you even get to the start line. It really is. I mean, it's like I don't know if anyone's watching Shannon Campbell's YouTube channel he started.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, look at the effort he's putting into that car. He's been working that car for months.
Yeah.
And it is, you asked the open gambit of this question was time.
Yeah.
And so to make it really work, you have to have great people around you. And by the way, since I'm on camera, I want to thank everyone who's been helping us. Jeff has done an incredible job. He's the one who's crazy enough to sit in the car with me and guide me, coach me gently around the course. We will be broadcasting live, so this will be a R-rated stream, so we have to be careful.
Like talking into pulling the cable.
Every now and then we might pull the cable, just so watch out. But I want to thank Darren. I want to thank Mike, his brother, who is going to be doing fueling for us. I want to thank Brian Maxwell and Jamie Taylor. I want to thank Jimmy and his wife, who've done an incredible job helping us, and they're coming down tomorrow. Cam. Everyone, Gunnar, who's going to be with us and helping us. There's going to be a whole bunch of folks in the tent with us. For all of you who've been on this, and Nick out there doing all of the advance for us as well. We can't thank you enough. And this is our team, and there's our car. It's an oldie but a goodie. And
Number 353.
353, Hibernian Racing. If you all haven't caught it yet, Hibernian is the Latin word for Ireland, and 353 is the international dialing code for Ireland. And we are racing and raising funds for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation of America, based out of Bethesda, Maryland, near where I live. Both Jeff and myself have had cystic fibrosis and have cystic fibrosis in our families, and have been impacted by it. And for those of you who know, it is a genetic disease, hereditary, and it is a deadly disease and impacts children. And I've lost 3 of my family members to it, my close cousins that I grew up with, and so it's important to me personally.
Nice.
Jerome says you're currently at 72 subscribers.
I think Mr. Beast needs to watch out. I think we're coming.
Yes, we're right there. Right
And then he asked, what are your thoughts on side-by-sides running the 4400 class?
This is a great question. So, so there's like, if you kind of think about the evolution of this sport, it is constantly evolving. Every year, a new technique or manufacturing technique comes up. I know there's this sort of quasi-religious war around independent suspension systems and solid axles, and there's like 2 very, very strong camps. I'm in the middle camp, which is this is about weight to power ratio over endurance. Right? If you can get light and powerful, I don't need a V8, I don't need a big LS. If I can get a powerful engine that is reliable and can, by the way, this is also a thermal problem. This is a thermal sink race, because you're going fast, producing lots of heat, then you're going slow, still producing lots of heat. But how do you dissipate all of that heat? So these cars are designed very differently from a typical track car. I did a lot of track in my day back in Ireland and the UK. The cars are designed for one thermal envelope. And in Ultra 4, there's 2 completely different envelopes you have to design for. So that's a whole other area. All of that adds to the weight and complexity of the cars. So people are running dual electrical systems, dual alternators, because an alternator will get stuffed up with all the dust, so they'll flip over to a secondary. So all of this technology is getting shoved into these cars, and these Starlink things are drawing the question about the Mini versus the Gen thing. It's not about the Starlink. It's about power consumption and the ability for you to maintain a certain number of watts per minute. The Starlink Mini spikes up its draw, whereas a Gen 3 stays kind of cool and natural, and that's the difference. So forget all the YouTube videos you've watched about downloading megabytes of stuff. That's not the issue. It's about the electrical load you're placing into the system. So you add all of that stuff in, right? And then you say to yourself, how can I design this thing that's light? How can I make it so that I can complete the course? And what's happening is you've got these 2 worlds of side-by-sides, and Polaris doing an incredible job, and all of the other technology companies are like in that area. And then you got the solid axle sort of traditionals who finish, by the way, and have done really well in the last, 2-3 years, solid axle wins. And so what you've got is these worlds are coming together. And that's actually, if you look at Jordan's car for a moment, you can see where that technology is going. If you wanted to see an example of like the potential state of the art, think about it for a second. That's kind of like where we're all heading to. So I have no issues with side-by-sides if they're going to win eventually. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's an unlimited class. That's the bottom line.
It is. So. And I do think IFS has won the last 3
years.
I think the last solid axle was Bleiler.
Right.
That was a few years ago. It's been the Gomez show of late.
And Bleiler tonight was using his front axle to shift a rock off of the qualifying course. I have a video of
I
him.
didn't see that.
I have
I
a
didn't
video
think
of
that
him
was him.
shoving a rock the size of this table off the qualifying course so that he can come over the top of the hill.
Nice.
So we're talking, yeah. And I made a comment when they were texting.
That's uncharted territory up there.
Totally uncharted territory, and the rock was literally the size of a Volkswagen Bug, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I
Kathy
did that during
McCamus.
the practice of qualifying a few years ago
I
when
bet.
I raced. I was
Yeah.
moving stuff around.
Great question, though. Great question. We could go on for a long time talking about it.
What else you got over there?
She just said, can't wait to watch you guys race. Be safe, have fun. Hope you do well.
Thank you.
And Anthony Chevalier asked, do you guys have any shirts this year?
Yes. Jamie Pellegrino hit me up. He's for those of you who don't know Jamie well, you probably know him from his GenRight fame, but he's also an incredible designer, and he put together a whole bunch of new shirts for us with our sponsors and GenRight, etc. on it, and so they'll be available out at the event,
pit tent.
at the pit tent,
Yep.
and they're going for $19.99. Maybe $25.99 or $99.99, depending upon the surge
How well
pricing.
you do.
Depends upon that Uber the Uber surge pricing took me from LAX to here. It took me for $200.
Oh,
Ouch.
jeez.
So I need to get some money back. Great question.
What is the name of your YouTube channel again? Wayne asked.
Hibernian Off-Road
Racing.
Racing.
Yeah.
And Hibernian with an N in the middle that no one wants to announce. I had to get a URL from somewhere, and it was my best idea.
Okay.
Great question. Thank you. Hit us up. We have a few videos out there. I've got a video where we, it's only a 2-minute video, but we took the Maximus LJ, which was the first tracer, and we did full compression. We took off the shocks, this is a few days ago, did full compression and pushed up the front axle up directly into the sort of the space above, into where the engine is and the radiators, etc. Just to simulate the worst case scenario that Jeff sends me the wrong direction and we go down a big mountain.
Some drop off.
So we drop off. And it reminded me of just how incredible the engineering is on the tracer suspension.
It's tight.
It's super tight, and it's amazing. So take a look at that. I didn't do a great job with the video. I'll do a better one later.
Okay, Richard Peterson said, great info, great episode, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Anything else you want to add about KOH or your experience with KOH?
Yeah, man, I was listening to you guys the whole way in. You've nailed it as far as where to stay. The 40 is going to be interesting. Like Jeff was saying, a lot of the entertainment is out there. It's a very flat space. It's well maintained. It's well lit, has power. There's going to be a big bar and food area out there as well. And it's also kind of a little bit more elevated, so depending upon the temperature and the wind and stuff, we'll see how it goes. I think, there was at one point in time, Dave Cole, who the sort of owner and runner of this whole thing, was trying to figure out how to make it easier for all of us to kind of move around and do things. So I think, like Tony said, dress properly, bring lots of clothes, hydration. Make sure you hydrate. Be careful because you don't realize how quickly you're dehydrating out there.
Yeah, not just alcohol.
Yeah,
And if you are drinking, they're going to bust you on Boone Road. That's kind of what
actually, thank you. We had a. You're right. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. We just had a board call, the Ultra4 board call, and we were reminded on the call by the BLM agents. They are going to be enforcing
cracking down
big time.
Yeah.
And so please, please, please do not speed on Boone Road. Be safe and courteous to others around you. Also, there's a major ask from all the organizers. Please run a flag. Please run a flag. We had some terrible fatalities last year. It was a very tragic situation. We don't want to repeat that. And we believe that had people had boogie whips or flags, we could have potentially avoided that situation. So all the racers, you'll notice, all of us are going to have boogie whips and flags on our cars and our pre-runners, and we're all posting on social media. Please, everyone, do the same.
Yep. Good reminder. All right. Any more questions over there, Jen?
No, everyone's just saying good luck, great show, good luck.
Awesome.
Subscribed.
Subscribe.
All right. So, any last minute thoughts to share with the folks?
No, let's wrap this up. We got stuff to do.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for making it, Peter.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.
And we'll see you guys next Wednesday from the lake bed.
From the lake bed. Take care.